Hi beautiful souls, welcome back to Manifest with Miriam. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the uncomfortable truth about changing your life. I feel like some of these topics do not get spoken about, and I want to give my opinion, share a bit about my journey. I can relate to you guys because having a spiritual awakening is hard enough on your own, let alone going through everything you have to go through in order to get there. So if you see me looking down, it's because I have a bunch of notes written down here of some points that I want to touch on throughout this video. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the grief that you feel when you are becoming someone new. Obviously, when you are changing your life, you are completely changing the person that you are rewiring your brain, and you are altering your personality. No one talks about the grief that you feel, the mourning of old versions of yourself that you feel when you are changing your life. Sometimes growth feels a lot less like glowing up, and it's really a lot of sadness and almost depression because you are mourning these old versions of yourself that you no longer are and that you no longer align with. And I have mourned so many different versions of myself to get to where I am today, but it is so necessary if you want to grow, change, evolve, transform, elevate to your highest potential. The reason why you mourn these old versions of you is because they were comfortable. Confirmation. Is because that is all you know, that is all you knew, is that comfortability of that's who I am, that's who you thought that you were, that was maybe classically conditioned into your brain, programs, rules, regulations that we learn and we adapt and mold to from our parents, from teachers, from university, from school, from work. And when you're changing, you are releasing all of that and you're letting it go, but you no longer feel like yourself because the old version of you doesn't exist anymore. So that's really hard because you feel like you don't know yourself and you start to question and doubt, is this who I am? Who am I? Who actually am I? But that is when you need to isolate and do the shadow work and dive into your childhood and do that inner child healing to figure out who you actually are at your core, at your soul, not who you've been told to be. Another uncomfortable truth about changing your life is that you will outgrow people quietly. This is really hard because as you're changing, as you're evolving, as you are pursuing what you feel deep down to be your mission and your purpose, all of a sudden people from your old life start falling away and falling off because they were people who were in your life when you were the old version of you, and the new version of you no longer aligns with them, and nothing necessarily happened to damage the friendship, or there was no breakup of friendship. It's this rude awakening that you get when all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, like my friends, I feel like I don't even know them anymore because I'm such a completely different person and they're still the same, but I'm no longer that person anymore and we don't align. And it's really hard because they haven't done anything wrong and neither have you, but you feel like you just don't resonate with them anymore, and unfortunately you have to let them go. That is one of the hardest things, that is one of the most uncomfortable things, is to let go of all of these people who are your friends and who haven't done anything wrong, but you simply don't align with them anymore. Your frequency has changed, you've elevated, and one of the hardest things I had to do was cut these people off slowly, quietly, and then let them go. And it was so hard, and it is hard, and I'm still doing it, and it's still hard, and it's like I want to be friends with people, but I'm just changing and growing and expanding so rapidly that I'm just like, now I'm so much more protective of who my circle is and who my close people and friends are, because I know that I have a tendency to just cut people off once I have changed and once I have grown and once my purpose has been served in that relationship. I'm out of there, because if someone is not serving me, I am not giving them my energy, because I've learned and we're not going through that again. So that is really uncomfortable. It's not the big fights, it's not the big friendship like, oh, we had this massive fight, one of the friends, massive falling out. It's the quiet falling away that is uncomfortable and something that you have to sit with, and just know that once you go through these periods of leaving the friendship and then isolation, you will find your people and you will find your tribe, and you just have to trust in that. I have a bit of a white on white, love it, alignment. Another uncomfortable truth is feeling disconnected before your new life arrives. This is the in-between stage. This is the, I'm not the person that I was a couple of months ago, but I'm not this new person yet. I'm in the middle. I'm in the void. And this is really uncomfortable because you no longer align with the old version of you, but you're not quite at the new version yet. So you're just kind of floating in this, what they call the void period of you're waiting to be that person, but you're not that person. And it's just weird because you start to question, okay, should I go back and be comfortable, or do I jump in? What do I do? The void is honestly such a powerful position to be in, because once your new life arrives, you're never going to have that back, and it's a perfect time to just give thanks and isolate and continue to show up and continue to do the healing and continue the shadow work and the getting to know yourself. And to me, it's really exciting because I know that my manifestation is coming, and I know that my whole life is about to change, but it hasn't quite happened yet. And that excitement, when your new life comes, you're not going to go back to feeling that. You're just going to be living in your new life, and then you're probably going to manifest the next best thing, and then you'll be back in the void, and it's just this endless cycle. But when you're in the void, make sure you appreciate it. But God, it's so uncomfortable because you don't have any evidence in the 3D that your new life is here yet, but then you're not the old person. It's really uncomfortable. So I understand that, but savor and enjoy the void, because it is one of the very few times where you actually can just sit, meditate, reflect, and give a gratitude for where you're about to head and for where you've been. Another uncomfortable truth about changing your life is discipline becoming boring. So I don't know about you guys, but when I first started manifesting, it was the most exciting thing to me. Like, I was so keen. I was so excited. I was like, yes, like tonight I'm going to journal. I'm going to do a little candle ritual. I'm going to put a subliminal on. I'm going to do a sleep subliminal. And then I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do gratitude and I'm going to do yoga. And I was so excited to live this life and manifest abundance and success and beauty and prosperity and wealth and fun and happiness and peace into my life. But the uncomfortable thing that no one tells you is when you are becoming this person, you do that for such a long period of time to a point where it actually almost becomes boring. And it gets to a point where it is so ingrained in your daily routine that it kind of just becomes boring. And no one really tells you that, you know, when you're starting this whole journey, that at some point it's just going to become normal, I guess. So that was kind of uncomfortable for me because I was like, oh my God, like some nights I'm like, oh, like I should journal, I should manifest. And I'm like, oh, like I have to. And I'm like, I have to? Like, why am I thinking like this? Like, why am I saying like, I have to journal, have to manifest? Like, no, I should be thinking like, I get to manifest. I get to co-create with the universe. I get to create my dream life. I get to build my own 3D reality before my own very eyes. So that is an uncomfortable truth that no one tells you. It will get boring. Trust me. Another uncomfortable truth about changing your life is that when your identity starts to shift, you can feel really lost and you can feel not like yourself at all, because the old version of you was rooted in stability, comfort, security, validation. When you are becoming the new version of you, that is unfamiliar and your brain is like, what the hell is going on? What are these new neural pathways you're creating? This is not safe for me because I have no idea what you're telling me and I've never experienced this before. That can feel really uncomfortable because you feel lost. You don't know who you are because you're still like figuring it out. You're like, who the am I? Like, so hold out, keep pushing through, keep learning, keep evolving, keep being with yourself and meditating. And you will feel lost and you will feel like you don't know what you're doing, but you need to keep going. You got this. Another uncomfortable truth, which I feel like I have finally gotten over, but it took me so long to get to this point. I would say maybe about 4 years, which actually isn't really that long, but well, my whole life probably. So almost 25 years. But the fear of being judged is extremely uncomfortable. Now, I honestly don't care. Like, I want to post so much about spirituality and so much about this awakening and help others and educate others and heal others with what I know and with what I've learned and with what I've experienced. But when you are first having this spiritual awakening, it is so scary because it can feel like you're a bit of an outsider and that you're kind of a weirdo and like this woo-woo girl, which I used to get called at one of my old jobs, woo-woo girl. Like, in reality, they were honestly so scared of me. Clock it. Yeah, when you start to, for example, change your style, when you start to maybe dress a little bit more hippie, or when you change your outlook, or when you say, hey, like, I'm not gonna come out tonight because I've got yoga tomorrow, meditating, and your friends might give you shit and be like, what? Like, what happened to the old you? Or it's gonna be uncomfortable and people will judge you. People will judge you. And that's just a fact. Like, people are gonna judge you anyway, so you may as well just do everything for yourself and be selfish and have these profound realizations and just not care, because people are judging you anyway, so why wouldn't you just do it anyway? Do you know what I mean? Another uncomfortable truth about changing your life is that you have to release the sense of urgency. By the way, guys, I'm sorry if you can hear that high-pitched machine running. I need to get a new mic because I can't change the gain on my other one, and the last video I posted, the gain was way too high. So I'm just filming no mic. I hope that it's okay. But yeah, it's the afternoon, so there's some works going on, but that's okay. We are moving, we are pushing through. What I was saying is you need to release the urgency. You are not going to change overnight, and this is something that I personally have struggled with, because I've been like, I've made a decision, I'm changing my life, I'm having this awakening, I'm setting these routines in place to be a better person and doing these affirmations and having this glow up. But honestly, it took me so long from when I decided, like, yes, I'm doing this and yes, this is gonna happen, I'm gonna manifest my dream life. I still took like 4 years, 5 years, and just shit just kept getting in the way, which it's life, and everything that did get in the way was always meant to get in the way. It was always aligned, it was divine timing, it was always meant to be. But you have to release the sense of urgency, because you're not going to become a different person overnight. It is going to take years to undo decades of wiring in the brain and conscious beliefs in the brain that have been programmed into your mind from the day you were born. That's going to take years. So as hard as it is, I know we want to wake up and be a different person and have our whole life put together, but you need to release that sense of urgency and just enjoy the journey, because life is such a beautiful journey. And this is so cliche and this is so cringe, but life is about the no, it's not about the destination. No, Miriam, no. Life is about the journey, not the destination. Because if it wasn't for the journey, you wouldn't be at your destination. So grateful for that. And thank you guys for coming along this journey with me as well. A few more uncomfortable truths. Something that I realized in mainly the last year, was that no one's coming to save me. And this was quite confronting. Something I realized when I moved to Melbourne was that no one is coming to save me. And to be honest, I never really needed saving, but there were times when I did want someone to save me and comfort me and be there for me. But when I moved across the country at the age of 20, I had this profound realization of, holy shit, like, I am all on my own. I am by myself. Like, no one is coming to save me. Like, if I don't have money, I'm gonna have to go get a job. Like, no, don't need to do that. if I don't have shelter, I'm gonna have to find a place to live. If I don't have food, I'm gonna have to cook it myself. Like, I know that sounds really basic, but it was a big wake-up call for me, because, mind you, no, I've always been independent. I've always done things for myself, so I was able to navigate through it with ease. But that harsh reality of, yeah, no one is coming to save you. Like, I'd go through things and I'd just be all alone in my room thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so sad, but there's no one cares. Like, no one actually cares. Like, I'm crying in my room over this guy and no one cares. So that is something that was really uncomfortable for me to come to terms with, was that no one's coming to save you. And you know what? Good, because it's made me who I am today. And it is so many people are babied through life. So many people, their parents do everything for them, or they have a sibling that they are just conjoined at the hip, or they have a partner that they are conjoined at the hip, or they have a friend that they're conjoined at the hip, and they don't go through life without one another, and they're constantly there for one another, and they're just babying each other through life. And that is the worst thing that you can possibly do, because your nervous system, when it heavily relies on someone and that someone doesn't show up, you go into fight or flight mode, and you just absolutely have an anxiety attack, and your whole body shuts down, because your fight or flight is activated, and you think that you're being attacked by a lion. You think that you're about to die when your friend doesn't message you back for 3 hours because you're so attached at the hip. So that is one of the most uncomfortable things I had to learn, that no one's coming to save me, but also the best, because it's like, you are your own best friend, and at the end of the day, you are all you have. At the end of the day, everyone else around you is going to fall out of your life. They might pass away, they might move, your friendship is going to end. The end of the day, the only person you really have is yourself. And until you find that soul mate, twin flame union connection, you just need to be by yourself. Okay? All right, one last uncomfortable truth that I'm going to elaborate on, and then we're gonna wrap this video up, because I feel like I've been rambling for ages and I want to go on another walk. It's such a nice day today. Success is not fixing your external issues. This is something I'm so passionate about, because I am a natural girl, head to toe, no work done. I will say I have had, like, my lips tattooed, not filler. No, I know you think that. Natural lips. I've had them tattooed a couple of times, and that's like the only work I've had done. But that wasn't an issue that I wanted to fix externally, to fix internally. Success is being healed from the inside, and then it shows on the outside. People, okay? A real glow up is from the inside, not the outside. You see all these bitches, these fake bitches out there. I'm sorry, I'm saying it. I don't give a. You see all these fake bitches out there, and they've got the lips, the cheeks, the nose, the hair, the whatever, nails. My nails are real, thank you very much. Let's just have an appreciation for the nails. I really need to get them done, so don't mind that. But they are only fixing what is external. So to the naked eye, it seems, oh, they're put together, oh, they're successful, oh, they're this, that. No, they're not. They are only masking what is not healed inside. And that is a complete mask and a front for the damage that is within them. When you see someone who's naturally beautiful, they are beautiful because their inner beauty shines to the outside. When I tell you how much hotter I got when I started doing the inner work, like, I was always pretty and I was always beautiful, but I didn't look it. When I tell you, as soon as I started on my self-worth and self-concept and elevation journey and highest potential journey, I became that much hotter. My lips actually got bigger, my nose got smaller, my eyes got more dull, brows raised, my cheeks had more definition, I got my jaw got sharper, my collarbones got better. All of these things were happening naturally, and you can actually manifest beauty. You can manifest a whole change in your facial structure and your appearance. If you want a video on that, I will definitely make it, because yeah, I've done it. So yeah, success is not external. If you see a girl and you get upset because she looks amazing but she's had all this work done, just know she's obviously masking the damage inside, and you can actually be better than that by working on the inside, and then it'll just shine and glow on the outside. So yeah, I've definitely felt that way multiple times over the years, thinking, oh, I could just get this quick fix, I could just do this, and then I'd be the hottest version of me. I could just quickly get a nose job, and then I'd be the hottest version of me. I could just quickly get the chin filler, and then I'd be the hottest version of me. And every single time I was like, no, 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 because that's not going to fix anything. It's not going to fix the inside. And so, yeah, and so I didn't. And now we're here. So, hey guys, that is all the uncomfortable truths that I wanted to discuss with you today, and the payoff for all of that is, obviously, if you're going through any of this, I feel you, I see you, I hear you, I've been there, I am there, we're all still there. Like, life is a journey, but the payoff is absolutely worth it. You get peace, you get self-respect, you get abundance, you get clarity, you get confidence, and you reach a point in your life where you finally feel aligned with yourself, and that is the best freaking feeling, and you cannot buy that. So, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you have an amazing week. I'm so looking forward to seeing you next Friday. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss a post from me. I'm uploading every single Friday. And comment below any thoughts that you had about this video, or comment below any uncomfortable truths that you've been going through during this time. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.